job is full of challenges. Your job is about meeting deadlines, meeting targets, overcoming challenges. And all around you is the most powerful resource that you can have, and you don't tap into it anywhere nearly enough. And that's the people around you. If you create your own list like this for your objectives and say, am I getting enough buy-in from those people? I bet you'll probably find that there's more you can get. Is that a fair assumption? Okay. Nayland said, once stakeholders join in, your activity gets multiplied. That's what I want to talk about today. Once stakeholders join in, your activity gets multiplied. I want to talk about the power of professional relationships. She said, I'm in. And there's just one reason I'm doing this. I trust you. It's so easy for us to underestimate the power of the relationships we build. And I started looking at this and I started thinking about how someone who dropped out of university early, jumped from job to job, industry to industry in my 20s, has run a small business or two small businesses for 20 years, can suddenly pick up the phone to all of these senior people and get this response. And it comes down to the same thing. I've spent the last 20 years investing in professional relationships so that when I need something, it's there for me. It's a two-way process, but it's not a two-way process between you and that other person. You give to someone, you don't expect back from them. But you know that if this room represents your network, you might give over here and you might receive from over here. But everyone starts to benefit. But if you do this properly, you build a network of professional relationships of people who are able to help you, they're in a position to help you, people who want to help you, and people who understand how to help you. And that's what we're looking to achieve. So I'm going to focus on three things. How to build your network and where to build your network, how to nurture your network, and how to leverage your network. Most people, even if they answer this yes, don't think strategically enough about building their networks. There are two approaches to building your network. There's the strategic approach and the relational approach, and they both have their place. I'm going to talk about both here now. And I want to start by looking at the strategic approach to working out where those key relationships are. You take any project that you're working on, there are three types of strong relationship you need within key organizations. So let's say you're looking to, you're putting on an event, and let's take the example from this morning. You want to make that event as sustainable as possible. There are key stakeholder organisations you need to bring on board, as we established at the beginning. You need three types of people within those. The first are people who have influence. The second, people who can give you information, ideas and insight. And the third, people who can make introductions. Now that, for example, I use as an example someone in your supply chain, there will be different stakeholders on every project. So you might look at within your department, if you're in a large organisation, do you know the right people, or within their department? It might be across the organisation. It might be across that client organisation or that supplier organisation. So when you're starting a project, you can, it's a classic stakeholder mapping, but just taking it to a slightly different level. I call it influence mapping. You can say, who are the key people here for each of these things? How strong is my relationship with those people? Do I know the right people? And you can work forward from there. And at SoccerX, people walk around and they don't make eye-to-eye contact. They make eye-to-badge contact. They walk around and they go, no, I want to talk to you. It's so bad, at the end of the day, people were walking down Wembley Way like this. So I introduced myself to someone, a guy from Germany, and he was a supplier to the football industry. And we talked for 45 seconds, because it took him 45 seconds to work out I wasn't the commercial director of a Premier League football club. And that I found out was specifically who he wanted to meet. And after 45 seconds, he said, would you excuse me? There's someone over there I have to talk to. I said, of course, not a problem. He didn't go over there. He walked about 10 yards away towards the wall and he got on his phone. I'm still standing there. He worked out very quickly I wasn't the commercial director of a Premier League football club. If he'd have spent a few minutes getting to know me, what might he have found out about me?
You probably know a few.
I knew one, and he was at that event. But he didn't try and find out. If you're too strategic in the moment at events, you lose the opportunity. So events play their role, but you go to them not to sell to the room, but to sell through the room. Now that's over 18 years. She's one of my closest friends now. But what's happened as well as all of that is we've both referred each other regularly. And actually one of my best referrals came from Kelly. And she is so happy because she knew how important that referral was to me. See, someone you meet at an event might not be the right person for you there and then. But you never know where that's going to lead and where that relationship's going to go. This is what a network looks like. You're familiar with the term my inner circle. Your network has more circles than that. And gradually we can bring people along a journey as we get to know them better. So what happens is people say, you need to build your network. And people think, oh, I need more numbers. I need to meet more people. So we get lots of people in at 1 and maybe 2. You know, recognise and know, recognise and know, recognise and know. That's not how to build a network. To build a network, we want to go through the journey. We want to get people to stage 3, where they like us. We want to get them to stage 4, where they trust us. Because now we're going to start working some magic together. One of the things you can do from today is go away from here and say, who's at a 2 and should be at a 4 or 5? Pick 5 people. Pick 5 people every week. Phone 1 person every day. Phone 1 person every day and just make the conversation about them. Phone them when you've not got an event to sell. How are you doing? What's your focus at the moment? No, I haven't got an event to sell. So I've met Tim, we've had a good positive conversation, we've found stuff in common, he's invited me to the football. He is, in my mind, a private equity banker, city guy in a pinstripe suit. When I turn up at Wembley, I meet this Tim. Do you think that would have happened without the personal bond? He would have enjoyed the talk at the retreat, asked me to work with his team. It was a disaster, thanks Andy, goodbye. But that's not what happened. So find the personal. Get to know people, build that relationship. Don't be frightened about showing a bit of yourself. The stronger the relationship, the less grubby it becomes to ask for help. The more natural it becomes for people to want to help you. We need to build the right relationships. Get a network of people who are in a position to help us. We need to nurture those relationships, get them to a position where they want to help us. And then we need to leverage those relationships, educate them, inform them, ask them so that they are able to help us. Build yourself a network of people who have just one reason to help you, and that's the power of your professional relationship. Thank you very much.